1931. Climbers dared Kamet, the highest peak ever attempted. In preparation for the ascent of Kamet, Mr. F.S. Smythe chose the route up the East Kamet Glacier, established by Mr. C.F. Meade, with the goal of setting a camp on the col between Kamet and eastern Ibi Gammon. The expedition team consisted of Smythe as leader, Wing Commander E.B. Bowman, Mr. R.L. Holdsworth, Dr. Raymond Green, Mr. E.E. Shipton, and Captain E. St. J. Burney. 10 experienced Darjeeling porters, Tigers, joined them, along with 2 Gurkha lance snakes from the 3rd Gurkha Rifles and Everest porter Lewa as Sirdar. The team gathered at Raniket on May 17th, traveled 50 miles by motor, and then marched 14 days through valleys covered in flowers. On May 28th, they crossed the Kuari Pass, gaining their first grand view of the Badrinath Range with Kamet standing prominently. Following the Dhauli Gorge, they reached Niti on June 2nd, changed porters, and added yaks. On June 7th, they established base camp at 350 feet near the junction of the East Kamet and Rakhine glaciers. By June 8th, Smythe, Holdsworth, Green, and Shipton had set up Camp 1 at 6,800 feet. Bowman and Burney remained to organize loads. On June 9th, Smythe advanced to Camp 2 at 18,600 feet, carefully avoiding ice avalanche danger. Burney dealt with cases of snow blindness among discontented porters, dismissing them and keeping a stronger team. On June 10th, Bowman and Burney joined the others at Camp 2, where they acclimatized and stocked supplies. On June 13th, the party moved toward Camp 3 at 20,700 feet via a steep snow gully. Burney returned midway to manage load relays, but joined them on June 14th in a blizzard, briefly overshooting camp in the mist before being helped in by Sherpa and Bhutia porters. Above loomed a 1,000-foot rock wall topped with a 300-foot ice dome, a past obstacle to Meade's attempt. Initial reconnaissance on June 16th found 2 difficult routes, but a safer path was discovered and fitted with pitons and fixed ropes. On June 17th, Smythe, Shipton, and Lewa began cutting steps up the ice dome, while Burney and 4 men deposited food near Camp 4. On June 18th, Smythe and Shipton established Camp 4 at 22,000 feet, assisted by Holdsworth, despite some porters being unfit. Bowman, affected by altitude, still reached Camp 4 with the group on June 19th after local porters overcame their nervousness. On June 20th, Smythe, Shipton, and Holdsworth, with Lewa and Nima Dorje, set Camp 5 at 23,900 feet near Meade's Kolon. The summit team left Camp 5 on June 21st, taking the northeast edge of the north face. Crevasses slowed them, and near the top, Nima Dorje collapsed. Lewa took his load as they cut steps on steep, icy slopes. After reaching the narrow summit ridge, they spent 20 minutes photographing before descending. Lewa, frostbitten, was treated in camp that night. With Lewa's evacuation the priority, Dorje retrieved the abandoned cinema equipment. On June 23rd, Green, Burney, and Kesar Singh made a second ascent, following the first team's route. They enjoyed views of Tibet and the Karakoram before returning to camp. Welcomed with rum and chocolate by Smythe and Holdsworth, high winds that night confirmed the retreat. Within 4 days, all loads were brought down to base camp, where 4 days' rest restored the team before departing for 6 weeks' exploration of the Badrinath Range. Over 18 days above 15,000 feet, none were seriously affected by altitude due to a slow advance. Above 24,000 feet, 2 breaths per step sufficed, though glacier lassitude was demoralizing. Holdsworth's skis proved valuable, enabling him to descend rapidly despite frostbite. Lewa was carried to base camp, then to Joshamath for hospital care, losing the tops of his toes but expected to climb again. The expedition's success owed much to assistance from friends in Ranakot, support from officials, and the skill of the tigers and local porters. Kamet was conquered, leaving its mark, but also a record of careful planning, teamwork, and endurance.